Mm. And now, yes, rise up. We're being called to a whole new way of being in 2024. We are being called to create something remarkable. And I really like the idea of moving mountains because I think that's the energy of creativity that we are bringing forward as we let go of 2023. And next Sunday, when we do the Burning Bowl, we will be doing a meditation that takes us through the release of everything that we're truly ready to give up and to move into a new idea. So this year, well, there is some wonderful things coming. And as we venture into the new year, January 1st, we do so with open minds and loving hearts, I hope, so that we can be our very best version of ourselves in 2024. And we do that by letting go of some of the things that do not serve us, whether it's words that we use that limit, such as can't and try and should, uh, and exchanging words like hard and difficult with easy and comfortable. There's ways of changing our language and changing the way we look at what it is we're doing so that we begin to create a greater sense of harmony and peace in our lives and in our world around us. And it all comes, of course, from consciousness. Everything begins there. So I'm reading a new book that I got for Christmas from my husband called Gaia. And it shares in there a little bit about the 10 principles of universal spirituality. And they're very simple, beautiful principles that we've all heard about. The author of the book is Sharif Abdullah. And this is, I don't know if you can see the book because of the background, but it is I've just started it. I'm quite enjoying it already. And I know that we can create a world that actually works for the highest and best good of all of humanity and beyond. So Mother Earth as well, as we begin to live from these principles of universal spirituality. And I love what they are. They're very simple: love, peace, compassion, forgiveness, patience, inclusivity, authenticity, gratitude, responsibility, and awakened consciousness. We've talked about all of those things over the past year, more than once. And it all comes down to the idea of living from a place of oneness, acknowledging that everything I do in the world, I am doing through my own consciousness, and it is impacting those around me. And it can be for the good, or it could be a challenging one. However it's showing up, it's up to us to make the decision to be the best version of ourselves that we can be. And the way that we do that is personal. It's up to each one of us to decide what it is that we're ready to do, how we're willing to rise in our own lives, how we're ready to make a shift that allows us to live in a bigger and brighter way, to actually be a light in the world. So peace doesn't happen because I wish for it. Peace happens because I choose it. I choose it in difficult moments and I choose it in easy ones. And sometimes we forget to choose it, don't we? And that's okay too. That's where forgiveness comes in, where we forgive ourselves for any mistake we think we have made, where we forgive others if we think that they have made a mistake about something, and we stay in our own lane and begin to create from our own consciousness a world of love and gratitude, peace, and joy. So these things are easy to do. Well, especially when we're all alone in our little house by ourselves watching Netflix or something. Super easy then. But as we go out into the world, opportunities are presented, and we get to choose how we deal with those opportunities. And some of them are difficult. Some of them really kind of throw us under the bus, and others we find easy to navigate. So it's up to us to really take the time to do our spiritual practice and to set our intentions for what it is we'd like to create in the year upcoming. So one of the things I do, I don't set goals. I know, darn, hey, everybody should, but I don't. And I haven't in many, many, many years. And I remember taking sales courses and having them say, oh, where are you going to be in 5 years, 10 years? Hell, I don't know where I'm going to be tomorrow sometimes. Like, how am I going to tell you where I'm going to be in 10 years? And especially at the age I am now, 10 years? I don't know. It's hard to say. But what I do is I decide that I want to set intentions about how I want to be in my life. I set intentions for each area. So I'll take my spirituality, I'll take my physical health, my emotional health, my relationships, my work, and I will make sure that in each area I strive for a quality of life that I really want to manifest. So I'm just going to look up at my wall because I do have a vision board that has these qualities on it that I made just a short time ago. And there's a picture of me in the center with success underneath, and then a statement that says, be the change. So it's about love and health and service, compassion, peace, generosity, kindness, joy. These are the qualities that I choose to bring forward in the new year. And as I do my journal and write out the various areas of my life and how I want it to look, what I'm paying very close attention to as I move into the year is, how am I doing today? In each moment, how am I doing? And it's not to blame or shame myself for, making a resolution and not following it through. I don't make resolutions. What I do instead is set intentions for the way I want to be, how I want to birth the best me possible. And then every day, take a step, hopefully, in that direction. And when I miss the mark, right, because we all do sometimes, when I miss the mark, to forgive myself, pick myself up, dust myself off, and go again. Because here's the thing. We are here to live moment by moment, to do it lovingly. That means loving ourselves as well as those around us. And that includes the people we don't like, right? It's okay to not like somebody. It's not okay to not love them. So what does love mean? I'm not talking about the emotion of love. What I'm talking about is unity or oneness. You see, love is about acceptance. It's about connection. And so when we choose day by day to be as loving as possible to ourselves and others, we begin to see doors opening up. We choose to see life in a new way. And it really gives us some forward momentum as we move into a new experience. So this year is about birthing our truly authentic self by loving ourselves enough to show who we are, to stand in that authentic voice and shine that light. You know, the thing you used to do as a little kid that maybe mom and dad corrected you for, or shamed you for, or guilted you for, or told you not to do, that may well be the very thing that you're meant to do, that you're meant to bring to life in this world of ours today. So it's important to really acknowledge that each and every one of us is essential to the unfolding of the universe right now, that living authentically is not a nice wish. It truly is what's required for us to experience joy, peace, comfort, well-being in body, mind, and soul only happens from that place of self-love. So really important that we come to a place of maybe not setting resolutions, I'm going to lose 10 pounds or 20 pounds or 100 pounds, or I'm not going to go to the gym every day, or I'm not going to, stop fighting with my neighbor, but rather to sit back and say, what are my intentions with my health? With my health, I'm choosing to really love my body as it is, and to love it with good food and rest and all that. We can go to relationships and go, I choose to see the divine in each person in front of me. Whether I like them or not, I'm going to see that divinity. And in seeing the divinity, I begin to treat them with compassion, kindness, respect, because of course we would, right? So we begin to look at things through a new lens. Doesn't mean we're perfect every day. That's where forgiveness comes in. That's why it's one of the 10. I've got to take the time to go, oh, I could have done that better, but it's okay because I'm going to do better tomorrow. We're open to learning, to discovering, and to awakening to some aspect of ourselves that really needs that expansive love and joy or whatever's required. So it's up to us to decide what that is going to look like. So part of peace, of course, is nonviolence, which makes sense, right? But violence can show up in different ways. And one of them is sometimes the way we are critical with ourselves, the way we judge and criticize what we do, how we do it. Have you ever done that thing where you stub your toe and then drop and break your favorite cup and then turn around and go, I'm such an idiot, or that was so stupid, or how could I have done such a dumb thing? Have you ever done any of that? That's violence to self. Yeah, violence to self. So we want to practice nonviolence. So that means being peaceful. And what peaceful means is not that there's never a challenge or concern or difficulty, but rather I experience it and I allow myself to move through it without judgment or criticism, but rather to acknowledge that, wow, this was a tough moment, and to let myself feel that, to experience that, and to move through it, knowing that I am one with this infinite, powerful, creative force in the universe. And so whatever's in front of me, I have the capability to manage it, to handle it, and to get beyond it. So how great is that? But nonviolence is key, and it begins with each one of us making sure that our language to ourselves is a language we would be comfortable speaking publicly to another. Really important. Yeah, that's why you want to sign up for the 4 agreements next month, because that is such a great little book about, don't make assumptions, always do your best. The ideas in that book are so simple, and yet somehow they can be challenging for us to actually practice on the regular. So that's why we set intentions. If we set the intention for compassion, then we realize every interaction we have, each person that we meet, we want to come to them with open hearts, that we receive them as they are, not as we wish them to be, but we allow them to just be authentically who they are and to love them for that, whatever that looks like. Some people are really easy to love and be loved by, and some people are a little harder to love because they have trouble receiving it, or maybe we don't like them very much. And so we want to be honest and authentic, but love is not like. Love is I accept you as you are, where you are. I don't need you to be any different. And I may or may not choose to hang out with you on a daily basis. Okay. So it's not that we have to like every person or accept every person as a part of our life experience, because they might not be a good fit for us. However, that doesn't mean that we, say bad things about them or that we call them out, but rather that we accept that we're probably not going to agree with each other, but I can love you as you are, where you are. All right. So love is about oneness. It's about unity. So it's that building of a bridge so that we're not separating from others, but rather finding ways to include, to accept, and to be in community together. Compassion is one of the things the soul does, is it's searching for meaning, which is kind of an interesting, that comes out of the book, Birthing Gaia. And it opens our hearts, and it sets up us to take appropriate action, that whatever's needed in any given moment, we will know what that is. And we can begin to act from there, which allows us then to create greater harmony and peace. I mean, think about walking down the street and having a homeless person ask you for money. Will you talk to them at least? Will you stop and say hello? Will you at least smile in their direction as you say, no, I'm sorry, I don't have anything for you today, but have a wonderful day and a Happy New Year. You see, these are things we can do that can have a positive impact on the person in front of us. And at the same time, it doesn't really take anything from us, but rather gives something to us. When we are kind and compassionate to others, we receive the gift of that as well. It's, that idea of karma, which is, whatever goes out comes back. Whatever I'm putting into the world, I'm drawing from the world. So our willingness to be kind and compassionate with others is a really big part of living a really whole, loving existence, and it will serve us well. Being inclusive, that's one of the things that some days, especially lately, there's so much to consider, and we may be a little uncomfortable. Sometimes we're uncomfortable with people that we don't like, maybe a homeless person. We don't know why they're there. We don't know what their situation is, and we might be reluctant to have a conversation. But what if we get a little uncomfortable for a moment to create space for someone else to share in a way that may elevate their sense of comfort? I think sometimes being uncomfortable is a really good place to be. It allows us to step into somebody else's reality for a moment and be that light. Just to share a moment with another person that we don't know, don't understand. Someone who maybe is from a different religion or from a different country, different economics. It's hard to say what makes us uncomfortable, but I invite you to observe what does, and then find a way to open your heart. If it's another individual and something about their way of being in the world that's making you a little uncomfortable, maybe try having a conversation with them. Not to tell them who you are, but to figure out who they are, to listen to their stories. It's a great opportunity to expand what we think we know and to open our hearts to a bigger idea. So I invite you to give that a try. Gratitude is such a big one, being grateful for the life that we have, for the many gifts that we have, whatever they look like. If we can end each day feeling grateful for what we've accomplished that day, for the people we've spent time with, and for our willingness to forgive ourselves when we make a mistake, to be grateful for our willingness to do that. There's something powerful about gratitude. And I think it goes right back to childhood when we were taught to say thank you for everything we ever received. If you didn't say thank you, you might get a little swat up the side of the head because, hey, wait a minute, what do you say? What do you say is something I heard an awful lot as a kid, the please and thank you thing. And I think gratitude, because it's been kind of drilled into us, when we sit in a place of gratitude for whatever little or big good we have in our lives, what happens is that is multiplied. The way we live grows in that place because we've allowed ourselves to focus on what we believe is good for us. And focusing on the good expands the good. Whatever we focus on expands and grows. So when we focus on what's wrong, guess what expands and grows? Our feelings of alienation or upset or resentment or whatever else, that expands. So we want to take ourselves out of that as much as we can and come into that place of just being kind to ourselves and to others, and really allowing gratitude for each and every little thing to form a real stable part of our practice, so that every day we go, what am I grateful for today? And one that you could add to that is, what have you done that you're proud of? In what ways are you proud of you? And give yourself a little, pat on the back and go, wow, I I did this different today. Maybe it's driving in traffic and not flipping the bird off at somebody who annoys you in traffic, but rather in that moment to go, oh, have a beautiful day. You deserve something wonderful today. Enjoy your life. Anything that allows you to do that differently, and you go, whoa, I actually had a positive thought toward this person who cut me off in traffic or held up, the one who sits at the green light and doesn't go fast enough. Here in Toronto, it's like the horn gets honked multiple times very quickly, but it's like just even blessing the driver who's honking the horn and going, you know what? I love you, man. It's like all good, and allowing ourselves to be in that place. So as we close out 2023, it's not that we're creating, a bunch of list of things that we have to do in 2024 to validate ourselves, but rather we acknowledge that we are created perfect, whole, and complete, that everything that we have need of in order to fulfill and satisfy our life journey, we already have it. We came in with it. And now it's time to allow it out into the world, to birth that bigger self, that authentic, loving, beautiful, glorious self, and let that light shine in the world, creating something really remarkable, not just for us, but for every person that we come in contact with. You see, we are the light. We are the reason for being. And all we need to do is allow that authentic voice to really shine. Give it away, give it away, give it away, give it away. And you'll never, ever run out. So on that note, let us go into a meditation. And I invite you to just quiet your mind and close your eyes if you're comfortable. And set your feet flat on the floor. Connect with Mother Earth. And taking a deep breath in. And as you exhale it, just feel your body relax. Letting go of any tension. Another deep breath in. Relaxing a little bit further. And one more deep breath. And I invite you to see a giant movie screen in front of you. You're sitting in a darkened theater, all alone. You have it all to yourself. It's quiet. It's comfortable. And as you look at the screen, you begin to see the light, and the film starts. And the phrase is, I am the I am. Big and bold. And you can feel the energy of that statement at the very core of your being. It's like your heart is beating to that rhythm. I am. I am. I am. And as you relax into the rhythm of that heartbeat, the pulse of the universe, I invite you to imagine a deep, peaceful feeling. Something that relaxes every muscle, changes your thoughts. Your body just feels like rubber, just fully flexible and relaxed and comfortable. And it is in this comfortable place that this deep sense of joy at the very core of your being begins to flow and move. It is an energy of possibility and potential. And it's bubbling up inside. And it's tickling every cell and shifting perspective. And in this moment, joy is this divine light that begins to pour out of your body at your heart center as this brilliant, beautiful light. And everything it touches begins to bubble, to gurgle, to be lifted in this happy state of immense joy. And the feelings of I am enough, I am powerful, I am divine. These thoughts just grow and become bigger and brighter. Every thought positive and productive. Deep, deep sense of connection. And as this joy is flowing out and touching everything around, imagine it going out beyond your body, beyond your home, beyond your city. Just bubbling up and wrapping itself around this world, lifting hearts and minds into a place of true celebration and immense gratitude for the beauty of life and the possibility of what is yet to be. And as I sit in this place of deep joy, deep gratitude, I invite you to take a deep breath and really just anchor that love and that joy and that gratitude. Allow it to fuel the rest of your day and bring it into 2024 with a truly, truly grateful heart.